Hey guys, Dan with Pain For You, and today's topic is going to be chronic pain versus the body healing. And if you've ever been hurt, you've ever fallen, you've ever cut yourself, you've ever broken a bone, you know, you've been taught this since you were a kid. The body magically puts itself back together. You can literally watch it if you cut yourself in the kitchen. You know, within a few days, the body just kind of magically grows itself back together. It's fascinating. Even the largest bone in the body, the femur, the upper part of the leg, when that breaks, 6 weeks later, if it was set properly, it will grow back together and actually be stronger at the break point than before it was broken. So the body has an incredible ability to heal if we allow it to. So are there cases where if you really sprain an ankle and you keep on walking on it, it's going to take a long time and might not heal properly? Or if you break a bone and you don't get it set, could things take a long time and have the pain become chronic? Sure, if you keep on re-injuring that spot. But that is not what's going on with the vast majority of chronic pain in this world. You know, we have pain and it comes out of either a true injury, like the things I've just mentioned, or in some cases it comes out of nowhere, seemingly, right? You didn't really do anything. You bent over, which is not going to damage our body. We bent over and we, quote unquote, threw our back out. It's not a true injury. It's just an acute onset of this distraction pain, this mind-body syndrome, this TMS. And so it's not necessarily an injury. But then the problem is we start to go to doctors and specialists and we get an MRI done and we get an X-ray done, and they might start to find some normal signs of aging, but then as the authority figure they say, look right there, that's what's wrong with you. And so as you go through this chronic pain journey, it is very easy to just simply accept the diagnosis that you have a herniated disc. Okay. I can see it. It's there on the MRI. But again, there have been studies that show if they were to do MRIs on 100 people with pain and MRIs on 100 people without pain, it's fascinating because doctors looking at the results would not be able to tell the difference, which pile of MRIs had the pain and which pile had no pain. There's literally no discernible difference in MRIs of people with and without pain. So if a doctor is pointing at your MRI and saying, that's the cause, you need surgery and I'm the guy to do it, all right, accept the diagnosis. You have a herniated disc. Wonderful. Or a bulging disc. Got it. Spinal stenosis. Got it. That's the diagnosis. But what I'm suggesting you do very strongly, while you can accept the diagnosis, don't accept the prognosis. The prognosis is you need surgery and you're going to be in pain the rest of your life, right? That's the prognosis. The prognosis is you may have fibromyalgia. Even that one, not sure I'd recommend you accept the diagnosis, but the prognosis that they tell you in that case is you'll never get better, there's no cure. We don't know what causes it and we don't know how to cure it. Look, fibromyalgia is nothing more than a label given to somebody who has a whole variety of symptoms combined with fatigue and pain points all over the body, and they need to call it something so they can put it on the insurance form. But the diagnosis is lacking, and the prognosis of there not being any cure and we can only manage it through pain meds, which don't work that great in the first place. Feel free to accept the diagnosis, herniated disc, but the prognosis that you'll be in pain for the rest of your life is not accurate. Like I just shared, 100 people with pain, 100 people without pain, both sets MRI'd. You can't tell the difference. So when your doctor tries to tell you that this is the cause of the pain, ask him to prove it. What's the proof that that is actually it? What's the proof that you're not going to be one of the people who gets surgery, back surgery? And, you know, I forget the exact numbers. I think it was something ridiculous like, you know, success rate on spinal fusions is like 10%. Not 10% failure, 10% success, where it truly stops the pain permanently. So the body heals. So if you fall out of a tree, go to the doctor. They'll put you back together. They'll set your bones. They'll fix you up. You get a cut deep enough, get stitched up. The body heals. But when it comes to the other stuff, something else is going on, and that's this chronic pain world. So let's say you have this mind-body TMS pain come up out of nowhere or through an emotional event, or this acute onset where I threw my back out. Right? It's not an injury. Number one, even if you want to believe it's an injury, just believe the body heals. If it's still there 6-8 weeks later, something else has gone on. Pain becomes chronic because we freak out about it. Yes, it's extremely uncomfortable, but we freak out about it, and we stress, and we worry, and we catastrophize. Oh my God, if the rest of my life is walking around like this, my life's going to be awful, and we catastrophize it. And that's not going to help. What you're literally doing is, through fear, focus, and anxiety, you're teaching the brain that this is really important, it's significant. Focus here, build these connections here, and the brain can literally learn to keep these pain signals firing long after any injury, if there ever was one, and it's very unlikely that there was a true injury, even with that pulling my back out. So really, start to look at the realities here. Injuries are from trauma. If there's no trauma, it's very likely this. Now look, we want to rule out anything significant. We want to rule out things like fractures, infections, tumors, right? We want to rule out those things, but those can generally be ruled out with some pretty basic medical tests. Once you've done that, whatever the formal diagnosis is from the guy in the white lab jacket, the doctor, fine, you got a herniated disc. So do 2/3 of the people walking out there who've never had back pain, right? Not a big deal. The diagnosis is fine, but don't accept the prognosis. You can get better. Stop catastrophizing, shift back to your emotional world, because this pain really happens as a result of our emotional world. All these unresolved emotions build up and up and up in our subconscious, and at some point, when they're getting close to consciousness, the body gets into such a state of fight or flight. The adrenaline and cortisol gets so high, the tension builds in the body, the blood flow constricts, and pain happens. So that could be the acute onset, or it could be just a slow onset. It came out of nowhere, I just woke up and a little tense, and then it got worse and worse and worse. Doesn't matter how it happened. Chronic pain becomes chronic through fear, focus, and anxiety. How do you get rid of it? Shift your focus away from the pain to what you want. Shift your focus away from the pain to your emotional world, which was that buildup of unresolved emotions, and you'll get better. So I really just wanted to talk about healing. The body absolutely heals. If pain is around for longer than 6 to 8 weeks, most likely something else is going on, and it's distraction pain, it's TMS, it's this mind-body syndrome. And the great news is, don't freak out about it, because really, your body is okay. It's just reacting to this overwhelming, unresolved set of emotions, and by kind of going to those emotions on a regular basis and teaching yourself and your subconscious mind that they're not dangerous, scary, and that they're normal, you can literally reverse the process, literally turn it backwards, and the pain can go away. And it does go away. And countless thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people have gotten better through Sarna's work. So I'm just trying to help make it easier for you, a little more simple, demystify it, and frankly, make this chronic pain less scary. Because when you look at what's really going on, there's not a lot to be afraid of. Yes, if you can't get rid of it, and what if I'm one of the people who can't get rid of it? I get it. You know, those self-limiting beliefs and those doubts that maybe I'm just not going to be the one to get rid of it. Well, if you believe that, truly, that you're not going to get rid of it, you're right. And do you want to be right, or do you want to get better? So start treating yourself with some kindness, some love. Convince yourself that you can get better, because you can. I know you can. Do you? So anyway, rambling a little bit here. Thank you for listening. healing versus chronic pain. We all heal. We don't all have to stay in chronic pain. So thanks again, Dan with Pain Free You, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.